What up, YouTube Digital? The other day, Lambdog made a couple really awesome videos, and kind of made one in response in the middle of it. There's a lot of things flying around that day. It was like a junior high cafeteria food fight, you know. But I wasn't fighting, but it was just funny how many videos like people. I just noticed that the last one that I made about if you score, you score, or whatever, kind of made it sound like that was directly to Captain Burrs, and it wasn't. But I want to make this kind of quick and answer a few things. Captain Burrs put a couple of responses, and I agree with the Ron Paul thing. I'm very whatever for yeah, I can't even think of the word. It's been a long day. It's Friday. I'm trying to get a lot of stuff done so I can have a good weekend. I'm all in favor for term limits and stuff like that, and I wish people would stop putting these guys on pedestals. And I hope during this election time that's coming up that they will also realize that just because a person shares the same views with you or says something really cool like they support marijuana or something like that, doesn't mean they can actually do anything about it. And especially, you know, the president. It has to go through, it has to go through Congress or the Supreme Court. So, I wish people would keep that in mind. And I'm not trying to attack Ron Paul, but it's a common practice in California where these jackasses, you know, they feel that they might not be able to win the next election, so all of a sudden now they support marijuana, and you know, that's just fucking ridiculous. But anywho, on to his other comments, because they were actually good. I agree, you know, we've always pretty much been on the same page as far as the revolution thing, and I wish people would realize, even if it's a peaceful one or whatever, United States will not be United States anymore. It will be a different country. We will have different laws. They will probably be even more fucked up than they are now. We will be fucked with the rest of the world, and it would take me 5 videos of 3 hours long a piece to try to even closely explain the shit that I understand how we would be fucked with the rest of the world, so I'm not even going to get into that. But it will not do anything good. And the fact is reality is you know, we have a couple things federally we're still pissed off about, you know, some gun shit and a couple other things, but you know, tax rate could be lowered a little, but taxes that system's never going to change. It can't. It's about the fairest it's going to be. But anywho, most of the stuff that we complain about, that I hear people complain about, is not federal. It's state and local. And I believe we can solve these problems, and I believe how we should do it. You know, this is my opinion. I think people that are super political, and there's nothing wrong with that, right on. I think people should do more videos, especially more local videos. Your state representatives, both in Congress and in your state government, your governor, your county commissioner asshole, your school board fuckface, whatever. You know, are they cool? Whatever. You know, tell us. You know, and hopefully that gains a bigger audience locally, more your individual's area. Then I would suggest that people start forming groups, of campaigns against stupid laws. I mean, let's be honest. What most of us are pissed off about is just the overabundance of stupid fucking laws that make absolutely no fucking sense, and just the new attitude of the lawmakers thinking that their job is to create more laws. This is a very big thing in California. This is one of the reasons why California is in debt, and one of the reasons why I'm no longer in California, because regardless of anything, the only thing they think they can do is just make more laws. So I would be bold about it. I would make the group against stupid fucking new laws, and then go about it, and then maybe some other groups will form, and at the same time support getting these stupid Congress people bit out. Somebody mentioned the other day that we switched one president for the same president, and I commented, it's not the president, it's the Congress. It's been the same for the last 20 years. It has. So we need to get people informed to get them out. And I think America could go right back. We're not that far out of whack. I mean, let's be realistic here. We're not that far out of whack of where it's going to end up. Regardless of, what our individual thoughts are and how in depth we hold them as true. There's that in reality. The reality is most of the people are not going to change, regardless. And somebody was mentioning it feels like we have a mini, like a smaller revolution or something like that. I can't remember how they said it. And I disagree. I think it's an evolution. And the reason why I say evolution instead of revolution is because people's fundamentals, for the most part, are not changing. People who hate gays are still hate gays. People who are racist are still racist. People who, don't like this, don't like that. For the most part, that is not changing. Some people are evolving and changing their ideas and their fundamentals, but for the most part, they're not. But everything else politically and stuff is still moving ahead. So it seems like it is a revolution, but in reality, it's not. And if we start a new government, we're still going to have the same people. Maybe not in government, but we're still going to have the same group of people in this geographical area. And their fundamentals are going to still be the same. And so there's not a lot that will change. But we still can get back to a reality, even if it's in a 1980s reality. That'd be better than where we're at now. I forgot what the last one was. There was one other thing real quick, but I forgot what it was. I'll look real quick. People should get together and do it. I disagree. Oh, the challenging a lot of things. I agree with that. That goes to that little group thing. I agree. It is hard individually. There have been people that have done it and it's worked, but I kind of misspoke on there. I'm talking about more of a kind of group effort. But what my point is those laws are mostly state and local laws that people are pissed off about, and those ones are not as hard as people think they are to start fighting them. You may not win the first time around, but some of these laws you can start fighting them with $500 to file the paperwork. Now you get that and a couple a paralegal and a couple second-year lawsuits that haven't been corrupted yet, and you got a good chance. Some of these laws are so outlandish that they could be that easy to get kicked out. So I do agree it should take more, but people should not think that it's them against the whole gov. So they kind of like, fuck, can't do nothing, because that's wrong. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick, and I'm trying to make this fast, I just want to talk fast, is Lambdog was mentioning, matter of fact, I really should cue this up here because this is pure fucking genius. And you know what? Why is it every time I search for Lambdog, it goes to "Is it time?" And it's funny because it's not his most popular video, but why does it keep coming up that one? When I do it on my TV and stuff, it's the same thing. I don't know. Anywho, I think this is the spot.
Exercise some of this ability that I have in reasoning, and I will talk about your point of view, and I'm also going to show how I'm trying to accomplish on here as if I have some sort of a...
Okay, here we go.
Trying to accomplish on here as if I have some sort of a wild plan, like, oh, the
okay, maybe I'm
mastermind of Ron, and he's going to lay out the path in the way that you comprehend it, then you'll get what he's saying. And I'm asked to speak plainly. And in a lot of cases, I can't always convey a thought or a reason to everyone at once to get you to comprehend and see the things the way that I see them, or the way that other people see them.
And other people, oh man, that was just fucking pure genius right there. I was thinking about this the other night, and you know, this happens to me a lot because I don't exactly, you know, come out and say it exactly like other people say it, so they think I disagree with it, or I agree but I have a different stance on it. Looking at it, people think I, you know, don't agree with it. And Lambdog is a very analytical person, and people, there's a lot of people that they come a time in their life they start changing in the way they think about things, in the way they do things, especially when they start considering, you know, it's been, you know, I've been out of high school for so long now, really what do I want to do? Maybe I want to do a career change, maybe what I thought I did want to do don't want to do now, and all this other stuff. So they have goals that they set themselves, even if they don't tell anybody else and everything else. Well, if they are going to go to those goals, they need to act like those goals, and they shouldn't go backwards. And, you know, I'm not sure of all of his aspirations, but I'm sure, you know, they're pretty high, even if they're just personal ones that he's going to do on, you know, on his side. Like his stock, his $500 project. So he's got to act the role, and he's got to, you know, be the role. And that's where I am too, and I can go into a little story about perception, and but basically everybody where I work thought I was going to kill him because I'm a big guy, and I have a naturally a look that when I'm walking and stuff like that, it looks like I'm going to fucking kill you or some shit. That's what I've been told. But in an office full of 600 women, 100 gay guys, and about 15 guys that even know what guns are, it's not a good thing. Finally, after a couple supervisors, one of them came up and said, look, dude, you got to start talking to all these people and getting to know them and chit-chatting and all this other bullshit. And I did it. And all those years that I tried to become a supervisor, even though I had all the experience, I nailed the interviews, but my perception was killing me. My perception changed pretty much overnight. And then everybody liked me. Everybody kept coming to me in the office. I got to do shit that other people couldn't do, like just go out and smoke cigarettes whenever I wanted, shit like that. I got away with a lot of shit. But anyway, yeah, I could see this, you know, I could see this and everything else, and this is why people don't like going back and, you know, kind of, you know, going back brutish and stuff like that, because they start to realize of changes. It's hard to explain, but anywho, I kind of came up with an analogy of what he was saying there, and basically I was thinking about this going, okay, there are several different ways to explain or do something or go about it, and it doesn't mean that any of them are right or different or anything else. And I came up with, you know, say if you have a football field, you know, full with 20,000 people, so it's pretty, you know, it's packed, and you got four people at one goal area, one touchdown, whatever area, and the guy says, okay, look, You guys need to go from here to the other goal. Okay? And there is no first, second, or third place, or right or wrong, or whatever that. You just need the task is to get from here to here. And so one guy just fucking takes off running. Starts fucking chop blocking, punching, you know, kicking, scratching, just beating the shit out of people all the way through 300 style. You know, he's yelling, "I am Spartan," fucking just going. And immediately right behind him is that little ambulance chasing Weasel Von Helton, entitled little scrawny bitch that can't do anything himself, so he's running behind to get a free ride. We all know somebody like that. We all know somebody like the first person. Alright? And then there's another guy that just gets up and crowd surfs all the way there. He gets jerked off a few times on the way and everything else. And then there's the last guy. The last guy's sitting there going, "Shit, how am I going to do this? Man, fuck." And he goes, "Well, wait a minute. There's no rules. Well, fuck all this shit. I'm just going to walk around him." They all get to the end. There's no first, second, or third. They all did their task. Nobody did it better than anyone else. Well, I guess some people will consider, you know, walking around would be better. But then again, some people would consider getting jerked off a couple times better. And some people would consider beating the shit out of people all the way through would be better. So there's really no better. And it's hard sometimes on here. And a lot of times you gotta just start off with a big old disclaimer to tell exactly where your position is before you get into saying it, so people don't fly off the handle and think that, you're against something when you're not, because you're explaining it and they're not understanding it. And it's not their fault completely why they don't understand it. It's kind of partially, both, because they're not educated enough. It's not a bad thing. Maybe because some of us are bored and we read up on shit we really don't need to. And then the other one is the other person's not explaining it good enough. So, anywho, that's just my little 2 cents on that. And it's hard sometimes. And especially that whole, going backwards thing. Because, I don't like doing it. I can say that outright. I don't like doing it. I mean, I can sit here easily, just say, fuck the police, fuck this, fuck that. It gets you nowhere. To me, it does. It never worked out. I never got anywhere. My life didn't do that great. It just didn't work for me. It may work for other people. Hey, cool, whatever. But yeah, I got past it, and I just, there's no reason to go back. But it doesn't mean I don't still believe in, the right to bear arms, or, the right to free speech, or any of that bullshit. Doesn't mean I don't agree with it, or don't think that some of those rights are being, taken away. I mean, shit, I moved from California to Nevada because the rights are taken away. I mean, realistically, this right here was about a third of the reason why I moved. So, any hoozle, peace.